Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you how to replace a light switch. It's actually really easy to do, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it in this video. Now, the first thing that you have to do is turn off the power that goes to the light switch. So before you actually start working on the light switch, you should go to your electrical panel and shut off the power that is going to the light switch. And once you have ensured that there is no power going to the light switch, then you can actually start the process for replacing the light switch. And this is how you replace it. You're going to start off by removing the actual plate cover right here. And to do that, you just have to remove these two screws. Now the two screws are fairly small and easy to lose, so make sure that you have your hand underneath there to catch them, just because they are super easy to lose and they're very, very small. So now that I've removed the two screws, and I've removed the plate cover, I'm just going to place them to the side over here. Now I have exposed the light switch, okay? So basically there are two screws that hold the light switch in place. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this screwdriver to remove these two screws, okay? So you want to remove them to the point where you can actually pull the light switch free from the box, okay? So you want to remove them, loosen them to the point where you have more than enough space, more than enough leverage to move the light around. You want to basically remove them from attaching this piece right here to the box, okay? You don't have to fully remove them from the light switch itself, but you want to remove them enough that you can actually move this freely, okay? And I'll show you what I mean. All right, so now that I have actually removed the screws right here, this is what I was talking about. I've removed them to the point where I can freely move this, but I still left them inside of the light switch just so I don't lose them. Now you can remove them completely and put them to the side, but I like to leave them like this because, you don't have to worry about losing these screws. Alrighty, so now I'm going to turn the light switch to the side and expose these two screws right here. Now, there are two ways that the electrical wires will be connected to the light switch. They may be connected like this with these two screws, or they may be connected in these two holes behind the light switch itself. So if they're connected like this, okay, then all that you have to do is basically take your screwdriver, loosen these two screws right here, and you don't have to worry about the order, which way the wires are in there. Don't worry about that. They can go in either way. So you just loosen those two screws, and then you can actually just unhook them just like that. Just unhook them just like that, okay? Now, on the other hand, if the wires are pressed into these two holes over here, what you have to do is you have to get a small flathead screwdriver, and you have to press the flathead screwdriver in this little slot below the hole, and then simultaneously pull the wire out as you are pressing it into there, okay? So that is how you remove the light switch, and now we're gonna focus on installing the new light switch. Now, if you're installing a new light switch, by replacing the old one, then you're gonna go ahead and use the new light switch. But I'm just making this tutorial to show you how to do it, and this light switch is still good, so I'm just gonna reinstall this one. But once again, if you are replacing a light switch, you would go ahead and install the new light switch, instead of reinstalling the old one like I'm doing right here. So if your wires are already curved like that, then you're good to go. If they're not, you're going to go ahead and curve them like this right here, just like this little curvature that you see right there. I like to use needle nose pliers to do that, but you can use, anything that gets the job done, and you're going to curve them like that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to hook them around these two screws. Now once again, it doesn't matter, which wire goes on which screw, as long as they get hooked around. And when you hook them around, I'm just going to actually zoom in to give you a better view of what I'm doing. So when you hook them around, okay, you want to make sure that they are hooked around going clockwise around the screw. So if you can imagine right here, we're going this way and then we are turning clockwise. So you're going to hook each of them around each of the screws clockwise. Let's just go ahead and hook them around. There's one, just like that. And then you can either tighten this one down or hook them both around and then tighten them down together. That's what I like to do. So I hooked both of them around just like that. They're both hooked around. I'm going to pull them nice and tightly just like that. I'm going to take this screwdriver and I'm going to tighten these screws down just like that. And what that's going to do with that curvature, with that clockwise curvature, is as I tighten the screw, it's going to pull the wire tighter into place, which is ultimately what you want to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and tighten this down nicely, just like that right there, okay? Now all that you have to do is basically just install this new light switch. Now, once again, this is the same light switch as, as the beginning of the video, but if you're installing a new light switch, then, you're going to go ahead and install the new one. Now, it's a very simple process. Once again, you're just going to take these screws, you're going to put them in place, and you're going to tighten them in place. Let's just go ahead and tighten them in place just like this. So just go ahead and tighten them in place. Now, make sure that you get those wires tucked in there nicely. You want them tucked in there nicely. We don't want to do a bad job when we're doing this. Do a good job and make sure that they're tucked in nicely. And just tighten these up just like that. Now, what I like to do is, as I'm tightening the light switch into place, as I bring it closer, I like to flatten it out and straighten it out, because right now it's on an angle, if you can see. So I like to just straighten it out, push it into place, hold it like that, and then just tighten these fully, just like that. And we're almost done. It's literally that simple. We're almost done. Oh, another quick note. Make sure that when you are installing the new light switch, that you install it in the right orientation. And I'll show you what I mean in just a few moments. So now that I've tightened those up, if you take a look, hopefully the camera can catch this. If you take a look right over here, it says top. So you know that this is the top, and when you install it, that should be at the top. So make sure that it's installed in the right orientation. Now, all that we have to do for the final step of this video is put the plate cover back in place. So hopefully you didn't lose those screws, and we can just install the plate cover. So now I have it just hanging in place. I'm gonna place this screw right here, and we're gonna tighten it into place. Let's just go ahead. You know what, these screws are pretty small, and I always struggle with holding them properly and tightening them in place properly, just because they're pretty small. Now, when you're installing a plate cover, another quick note is you don't have to tighten it down all the way. You can loosen it up a little bit to make it look nice and flush with the light. You don't have to really tighten it fully in place, okay? Tighten it to the point where, it's secure, but you don't have to really tighten these screws down. It's just for decoration. You're not really securing it in place to the point where it's not going to budge. It's just to cover everything up and to sort of make it look good, okay? So tighten them down just enough, but don't over tighten them. And that's basically it in this video. Oh, sorry, before I finish this, you can go ahead and go to your electrical panel and turn the power back onto the light switch. But in this video, I have shown you the entire process for replacing a light switch. I have literally outlined the process from start to finish, and I've shown you exactly how to do it. And I've also provided you with a few tips along the way. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.